Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It is truly awesome to see you back here. If you're new, my name is Ivan from Siteify and I will be your host in today's video. As you know, there are many ways to build and host a website. There are the easy drag and drop options from some of the most popular services for beginners, such as for instance Squarespace and Wix. And there are beasts capable of creating any kind of website imaginable, merely limited by your experience and ideas, such as WordPress. The problem is a new user has generally two options for starting a WordPress site, WordPress.com and WordPress.org. While both of these offer the popular WordPress site building and content management system, there is a crucial difference between these two, and knowing those differences can help you make the right choice for your new website and WordPress hosting needs. Today we're gonna look at the differences, and hopefully by the end of the video you will have a much better understanding of which WordPress is best for you and best for your needs. Although this is something that we have already talked about during our last video, let's briefly start with the basics and answer the most fundamental question: what is WordPress? Those of you who have experience with it or have seen our previous video, which is linked up here, will know that WordPress is the largest content management system and one of the world's most widely used site building software, which powers more than 1/3 of all global websites. With WordPress you can build pretty much anything, from a small personal blog to a complex e-commerce website. As we have learned in the last video, WordPress is a beast and can be a little bit tricky to new website owners. Not only because of its complexity and a myriad of options and plugins you can use, but also because there are a few different options for building a WordPress website and accessing WordPress information. As the title suggests, there are two different types of WordPress. WordPress itself is a free and open source so that it can be modified and shared by any user in the WordPress community. The core WordPress software package can be downloaded by anyone from WordPress.org, and it can be installed as part of a hosting package from a third-party web hosting provider. WordPress.com also supports WordPress. You may be surprised to learn that WordPress.com and WordPress.org are not technically the same thing. They're not the same company. WordPress.com is run by a commercial company called Automattic that was created by one of the founders of WordPress for hosting WordPress-driven sites. These two companies are often misconstrued as affiliates of each other because they share the same name, registered trademark of WordPress Foundation, which is why so many employees of Automattic also contribute regularly at WordPress.org. Users don't have to download or install WordPress. It is part of the hosting service that WordPress.com actually provides to all of its users. Now, WordPress.com versus WordPress.org. Pros and cons. Let's have a look at each. Each version has its own pros and cons, although I personally think that the .com version has more cons than pros. But you can decide for yourselves. So let's have a look at when should you actually use or opt for one and when for the other one. When should you use WordPress.com? Well, with WordPress.com you don't have to worry about purchasing hosting or maintaining your site. It also can be free, though there are paid plans as well. The free plan limits you to 3 GB of data and a subdomain, something like mywebsite.wordpress.com. It also includes WordPress.com ads, which is obviously not something you want to have on your website. It's not like you're getting paid for them anyway. Now, furthermore, you won't be able to install your own plugins or themes unless you actually pay for the expensive business plan. Plugins and themes are one of the most helpful things about WordPress because they make it easy to customize your site and That's a pretty big loss. If you thought changing a domain name, server, DNS, or backing up your website data sounds incredibly daunting, WordPress.com may be the way to go to create a basic blog or website. But if you want any kind of flexibility plan to monetize your site or want your site to grow in the long run, WordPress.com can be very limiting. So when should you use WordPress.org? Well, WordPress.org has to be set up with your own hosting provider. In most cases, this is as simple as one-click install, and it is really easy. We will list the recommended hosting providers in the description below, so you may want to check them out for yourselves. In fact, if you purchase your domain name from your hosting provider, you don't even have to worry about changing DNS. It will be done for you automatically. Plus, WordPress.org has much better customization options. You're able to install plugins, use custom website themes, and do just about anything you want with your site. You can also monetize your website however you want it, which is great, especially if you're planning to turn it into a business. That is a very important factor for many. If you want full control over your website and the best possible options, go with WordPress.org. Even though there is a bit more of a learning curve in the long run, you will thank yourself for making that decision. Now, ready to get started? Check our recommended hosting companies in the description below. The setup is easy and they help you a long way too. With those distinctions in mind, here's a look at how WordPress.com and WordPress.org stack up in terms of some of the key WordPress features. If you're not familiar with WordPress themes, they are all-in-one site design packages that create the look and feel of your WordPress blog or site. When you find the perfect theme for your project, you'll be able to install it with just a few clicks. On WordPress.com, the plan you choose will essentially determine how many theme options you'll have direct access to. For users that stick with the free or personal plans, you'll be able to choose from over 150 free themes. Users with premium business and e-commerce packages will have ability to browse through more than 200 additional premium or paid themes. Now, paid themes are much more robust than the free ones. As a WordPress.org user, you'll have access to literally thousands of different free and premium themes. To start out, you'll be able to choose from over 7,500 free themes that are in the official WordPress.org directory. You can also find free and premium WordPress.org compatible themes all over the internet. There are literally thousands more premium WordPress themes on the internet, including WordPress theme bundles with page builders. Now, WordPress.com versus WordPress.org. Which is the king of themes? In this case, WordPress.org takes the easy victory for the sheer amount of WordPress theme options. It wasn't really even a fair competition. Themes are a defining feature of WordPress sites. With a WordPress.com site, you have no choice of a wide range of pre-made free WordPress themes. All that is needed is to add the content that you want, and that's it. Unless you're paying for the premium packages, as I have already mentioned. The self-hosted version of WordPress allows you to install and change themes the way you like, at your own will. And they can come from any source. It doesn't really matter whether you source them from the internet yourselves or you find them in the directory. Generally speaking, premium themes are or have more compatibilities and customization features compared to the free ones. So if you have an option, go with a paid one, but make the choice correctly. In WordPress language, a plugin is an installable software package that extends the functionality of WordPress sites. On WordPress.com, you won't be able to use any plugins if you're on any of the following plans: free, personal, or premium. However, if you opt for the business or e-commerce plan, you'll be able to access over 50,000 powerful plugins to really start customizing the functionality of your website. WordPress.org will allow you to install as many new plugins as you'd like, no matter which website host you have chosen and how much you're actually paying for your hosting account. Right from the very beginning, you'll be able to access all 50,000 plugins that are available with WordPress.com business and e-commerce plans. You can install them on your WordPress.org site for free. You'll also be able to find thousands more free and premium plugins all over the internet. Now, when it comes to plugins, WordPress.com states that users don't need to worry about installing plugins since the functions of many plugins come actually preloaded with every site plan. These include social media plugins to increase engagement, Google Analytics, contact forms, and more. But other plugins generally can't be installed on a WordPress.com site, which limits the range of available options for professional users with certain specific needs. Self-hosted WordPress.org is famous for its long list of premium free plugins, bits of code designed by developers in the WordPress community to add specific functions that aren't available in the basic WordPress install. Plugins can be used for things such as creating a contact form, building an online store, or adding a gallery to the site. Users can even fill the analytics gap in their sites by installing something like a Jetpack plugin. So in this respect, you could say that WordPress.org is the undisputed winner here. Without spending an extra dollar, you can access over 50,000 free and premium WordPress plugins, as well as many thousands more from all around the internet. WordPress.com gives you basic security and backups that are available immediately when you launch your site. Your site will be leaning on the internal security of WordPress.com and the security and backup mechanisms that they have built for their service. In a way, it's sort of like a black box. Although no one has yet reported any serious security breakings or breaches on the platform. WordPress.com also handles all software updates on its own as necessary, so it's nothing that you actually have to worry about. On the other hand, WordPress.org is a software that is built to adhere to all modern standards and security requirements. In fact, cleanly installed WordPress is quite secure on its own. It's definitely not easy for a hacker to break into. But if you truly value the security of your site, a WordPress security plugin will go a long way toward fully securing your website. You also need to take care of backups on your own site when you are using the WordPress.org. This can also be done by downloading and installing a simple WordPress backup plugin. Plus, top WordPress hosts, and you guys should check out our list in the description below, also provide Automattic backups, so you don't have to worry about this with them. It's important to know that monetization on WordPress.com is somewhat restricted and depends on your plan. Most of the time, if you're looking to monetize your site, you'll have to upgrade to the premium plan as a minimum. Remember, on the free plan, WordPress.com puts their own ads directly onto your website, and you won't be able to disable them and you won't be able to get paid for them no matter how much traffic you're getting. Conversely, WordPress.org sites allow you to monetize however you wish. You aren't limited in any way at all. There are no restrictions whatsoever. There are no ads. The same, however, cannot be said in the case of WordPress.com. So if monetization is a big deal for you, go for WordPress.org. Now, conclusion. It's easy to get lost in details when you're not very familiar with something. The same applies here. If you're still undecided which platform is best option for your next website, let's make things a bit simpler. So, is it WordPress.org or WordPress.com? WordPress.org is for website owners who want to be independent. That means that you build everything on your own from the ground up. Most importantly, you are free to install any tools you like and control the overall website functionality. This is the best choice if you want to be completely on your own. And this is also what everyone usually means when they say WordPress. WordPress.com is good for you if you don't want to get your hands dirty with hosting, third-party tools, and customize your website's functionality. You just sign up, get an online space of your own instantly. The downside is that you won't be able to customize it much unless you go for the more premium and expensive plans. Okay guys, that is all for me today for this topic. If you have any personal experience with WordPress.com or WordPress.org, whether bad or good, or you have any specific recommendations for all the other watchers of this episode, share it in the comments. I would love to see some of them. And also everybody at Sightify would love to read your comments. If you liked this episode, click the like button. If you disliked it, press the dislike button twice just to be sure. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe and press the notification button so that you get notified by YouTube for the next episode, when the next episode comes out. So that is all, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye!